www.audiobookid.com. Tracey and Mark live in Devon in the southwest of the UK with their teenage daughter, a trip hazard cat, and some rescue chickens. Illustrators. Tina Lilia is a Finnish-born visual artist who is currently living and working in North Devon with her husband and a rescue Alsatian called Shut Up Rusty. Catherine Avent is an illustrator from Victoria, Australia. She has a passion for fine-line illustrations with an emphasis on the weird, wonderful and unseen. Drawing inspiration from folklore, fantasy and fairy tales, as well as natural flora and fauna, Catherine can often be found in the forest looking for stories to draw, flowers to press, and treasures to unearth.
One. The Old Hag, Folklore and Sleep Paralysis. A few years ago, I started having a very strange experience on some nights, waking up during sleep, but not feeling awake, could not move, and breathed with difficulty. At first, I thought it was a dream, a nightmare in the case. But things started to get worse, became more frequent, even during napping in the school classroom. I was never a very applied student. I went through this situation. It started to scare me. I searched the internet. I visited a doctor. He told me that it was possibly an effect of the combination of stress and deregulated sleep. I worked hard to improve my sleep, started sleeping earlier, regularly, and over time, the frequency of sleep paralysis was decreased. Those words came from one of my listeners to my online folklore program, the Folklore Podcast, in response to a request for information from anyone who had first-hand experience of sleep paralysis. The medical condition of sleep paralysis is not as unusual as you might think, with statistics suggesting that 8% of the general population have suffered an episode. It occurs as an individual is either entering or leaving the stage of sleep known as REM, or rapid eye movement, and physically presents as an inability to move the limbs, head and torso. In many cases, this may be accompanied by hallucinatory aspects that lead both to fear and a feeling of suffocation or pressure on the chest. Although we understand the medical reasons for the sleep paralysis state now, it has culturally been widely attributed to more superstitious origins, such as visits from demons and other evil spirits in the night, because of these seemingly very real visions. In the example quoted at the beginning of this chapter, a sufferer describes the physical stage of the condition without touching on any illusory aspects. Even in medical circles, sleep paralysis is often referred to as old hag syndrome, because it is common for the hallucinations to take the form of a stereotypical hag, as well as the other demonic forms. The imagined creature may appear to sit on your chest and be responsible for the breathing problems. It is this aspect of old hag syndrome that first caused it to enter into folklore and superstition over the centuries, in similar ways around the world. As we shall see, however, as with most folklore, it has developed and adapted over time through association with shifting cultural patterns and the like. Professor Owen Davies notes that accounts and discussion of sleep paralysis may be found in both European and Chinese writings over the last 2 millennia, so the experience is far from new. Many sources, including Davies, suggest that the earliest reference to what we now call sleep paralysis may be found around 400 BC in a Chinese book of dreams. This is, however, a little more speculative than it may first appear. The book in question, Julie Chun